That is why in our continent today, you have a lot of people who are believing in fraud, who are believing in internet schemes in order to make a lot of money. Not because of anything, they don't have time to grow. All right, so we want to welcome everyone back to our channel. Today, we're going to discuss something very interesting. And the topic we are discussing today is Africa's comparison culture, how your position in class actually controls your life today. What if I tell you that we are all becoming someone else? What do I mean by this? There are laid down procedures that defines what we are supposed to become. A typical example is when you grow up in a typical African home, you realize that we have norms and processes laid down for you that go to school, complete school, get a job. After getting a job, probably you get married. After getting married, you give birth to some kids. And then that is a laid down procedure that we all have to go through. And what makes it worse is that there are deadlines. It goes a long way to actually heighten the comparison culture among people. You realize that someone completes school and then he wants to go for a school gathering or home call or homecoming just to go and see if he's doing better than some people. It's like that. It happens. That is what we want to address today and how it is negatively affecting us, how we can change our mindsets and how we can develop our lives from here. So as usual, with my co-host, Emmanuel, what is your thoughts when it comes to the comparison culture, how we compare ourselves to others?
Thank you once again. Like, as you were saying all these things, I was just laughing because I know for sure that when we talk about comparison, it is a universal term. Let me put it in that way, which means that every single human being hearing us, watching us can relate to. And if I'm being honest with ourselves, even within this week or probably a month or most recently, some of us probably have compared ourselves to a friend, a sibling, an environment, like a post on social media. We can really relate to it. But one key thing that I always want to say that this topic is very intriguing and it is a deeply human conversation. I know that people really grasp and get a lot of value from it because we have a lot of people who are feeling inadequacy. There are people who are going through resentment. There are so many people with this thing we call chronic dissatisfaction. They are not happy. They are always chasing one another. They are actually wearing spectacle of other people, wearing clothes of others. And so these are topics that we know that at the end of it, we'll be able to touch on some few things and help ourselves. And like you mentioned, our goal is not to shame anybody, but we're educating ourselves and we are helping to build ourselves up for the better.
All right. So that is an interesting one that you just said. So going straight into this, we all come from a background where we were sent into schools where the schools prioritize students in quote, students who are smart over students who are not smart. That is a kind of schools that we all attended. The schools do not actually care about students who are not keeping up with the things that are being taught in class. Teachers are interested in students who are actually able to keep up with the kind of pace they go. Now, what we were not told is that all of us in the same classroom are like flowers or plants in a certain garden. And as a matter of fact, every crop or every plant has a way it grows. Some grows deep into the soil. Some grows on the surface of the soil. Some yield early, like maize. Maize will yield very early. But crops like mango, palm tree, these crops are crops that would take a long time to yield. That is how human beings are. But unfortunately, we were sat in classrooms where we're made to believe that all of us are the same and we are all supposed to produce the same results at the same way. And that is how come we're all graded with the same exams. We're graded with the same spectacles that if this person is doing well, why are you not doing well? That is the segregation we're doing. So at the end of every term, at the end of every school term, we publish students' performances. And these things that we did from the child's from our young age were things that were psychologically psyching us up that life is a race. It's either you are first or you are last. These these are ways that we were psychologically psyching us up. Because I remember there was one student that I used to sit by, and every time this gentleman would just cover his book and his writing, because in his mind he wants to be the one that will top the class. And it has happened across our education system. This alone makes us coming to a point where we begin to see life as competition. We begin to see life as, it's either I am first or nothing. The moment we are positioned in that way, anything that goes wrong or anything that do not go in our favor will automatically make us feel like we are failing in life.
Yeah.
We don't have time to grow. We don't have time to pace, because we're made to believe that if I am staying in the same neighborhood with Kojo or with whoever it is, if Kojo is able to buy a car, I should have a way to buy a car. If Ajwa is able to marry at 30, I must be able to marry at 30. This is the kind of mindset that we have grown with because of how we've been trained right from home and from schools. And this is what we are trying to debunk today. You see, let me give another example. Even in our homes, relatives become competitors. We begin to compare our children with their cousins, and this is what we have become. We compare ourselves. Well, we compare our children with other people's children, with our family members. As soon as a father's as soon as travel to the US or travel to Canada or anywhere, then automatically you begin to have pressure. You begin to have unnecessary pressure for yourself, because you know that the comparison is going to come. In the same way, even in our homes, there are some times that even parents can actually go ahead and even compare younger siblings to elder siblings. These are some of the things that are strategically killing people's self-esteem. It is killing people's self-worth.
Yeah.
It even creates an impression for adults, and they don't even feel safe anymore, even in their homes. They don't feel safe in their spaces again, because they know that when they come back to the house, we are definitely going to compare their life to other people. Meanwhile, there are people who are supposed to grow through their process. They have to grow through their process. And we have made this comparison so deep that now every young man, every young person that grows up, you begin to hear things like, I have to blow.
Yes.
We, the young ones, we don't have patience anymore. We don't have patience anymore. I have to blow. No matter what it will take, I have to be there, no matter what it takes. We mistaking this for persistence, or we mistaking it for grit, that you are hard, you have to push. We mistaking it for it. But the difference between grit and undue pressure from comparison is that grit makes you go through the process. Undue pressure will make you jump the process.
Michael, I like how you are laying the foundation. And it's like building. I like the structures. I like the fact that you are grounding the whole thing. Do you know what I'm summarizing from your submission?
Yeah.
If I am giving an overview of what you are trying to say, it means that life is not a race. If I am summarizing the whole, because Michael, we've grown up in schools. And I like the fact that you started with school, because school is a place of identity. And some of us, that was where we realized that we were worthless, especially when they started calling out the positions and we are always at the bottom. That was when we realized that we were absolutely good for nothing. And it entered into our life to the point that when we grew up as even adults, we lived in that kind of shades, should I put it?
Yeah.
So I am emphasizing on that part. And I like the scenario. You said life is more like a garden. It means that life is not a race. And there's a statement in your book before you even stress. I want us to take our time to emphasize or even to stretch on what you have started, because it has caused so much havoc. it has caused so much pain in the life of people. And like you mentioned, school has actually shaped a lot of people. And it's so strange that even those people who are always at the top, they saw themselves as the Oga, as the big deals, as actually the wealthy people. And that was it. So if life, from what you are saying, if life is like a garden, why are we behaving that way? I want to find out that if it is a garden but it is not a race, then it means that there's no need for competition. So I'm just imagine a cassava and even an orange tree. There's no way an orange tree will just wish to grow like cassava. There's no way a palm tree would always wish to grow like a cassava, which means that everybody has their own journey, their own struggle, their own story, and their own uniqueness.
Yeah.
So it is very important we explain to our people that yes, life is not a competition. You are not chasing anybody. It is about your life and what you can do. It's about yourself and your past life. That is what probably I would say.
Yeah. You see, the point is that the reason why we compete with each other, or the reason why we pitch against each other, is because of lack of identity. If you don't know your self-worth, you've not identified who you are, what you can do, what you can become, you end up competing blindly. You end up competing unnecessarily. You begin to see everyone as a threat to your self-esteem.
Yes.
You begin to see everyone as a threat to your self-growth. You see, let me give you an example. Some years back, we met a friend of ours, and that guy has become successful. Let me put it that way. At that time, he has become extremely successful, and I was now finding my feet. I was now even juggling through a lot of things in my life to understand what's going on. Then, whilst we were talking, there was a discussion that came up, and then this gentleman made a statement that he said, even right from school, he has always been the smart one. That statement has lived with me till today. Like, I try to understand what he meant by that. Like, is that the reason that has contributed to he becoming successful before others, or what? That was what I was trying to grasp.
And we have a lot of people who say that.
But you see,
a lot.
The point is this: as I grew up, I began to understand some things, and this is the thing. Because we all went to school, and there are people in school who are made to believe that they are smart because they can cram books and produce exactly what it is saying, because they can be able to pick a first position in class. To pick a first position in class, so they think that they are smart.
Yeah.
And trust you me, this person I'm talking about was also part of the set of people we call smart, because all of us were smart. In quotes, all of us were smart, in quotes. Smart in a way that, I mean, we were all able to top class. That's how schooling defines smartness. So I'll just use that. We were all able to top class. But the fact that he's able to top most of the times, it makes him feel like he was smarter than everyone else. And this is what our school system is pushing into students' head. So they grow up and they believe that they are smart. They overlook the processes and the procedures necessary to grow in life. And so they begin to compare themselves to people. At that time, he was successful. But what if he was comparing himself rather to someone who is higher than him, to challenge him to become a better person? That would have been a good cause. But if you are in that state and you look at other people and you say, I've gone past these people, so I'm smarter. That is the problem. That's the comparison culture we are talking about. It is very, very disheartening to say that you meet a colleague or you meet people, and the first thing that comes into your mind is that I'm doing better in life. You are broken. You see, every time I talk about being broken, see, you cannot compare yourself to people, because everyone has a growth process. The moment you begin to compare yourself to people, means that your engine for growth is dead, and you are surviving on complacency. If your engine for growth is dead, the only thing that is sustaining you in life is complacency. And the only thing that is sustaining you is that you don't want to grow anymore. You are content with where you are right now. Your growth is dead. So if you are watching us today and you have ever had the time, see, I won't sit here and say I've never done this before. Some time back, I have done these things, but the more I grow, the more I realize that these are the engines that do not cause us to grow. You can't go for a gathering, and what you are trying to see is that if you have a better job than the rest of people that are seated there. Oh my dear. That alone tells me that you will not grow anymore. And it's true. You're not going to grow. The moment you hit that barrier, that is it. You can't grow. Everybody will pass you. The only way you'll be able to grow out of that is when you cheat. That is why in our continent today, you have a lot of people who are believing in fraud, who are believing in internet schemes in order to make a lot of money. Not because of anything. They don't have time to grow. They don't have time to grow. That is why you have ladies, you have women, or you have ladies who don't have time to grow. And so because of that, they will link up with people who will skyrocket them in life by putting their backs on the ground. We don't have time to grow.
That is very touchy, and I really like how you are making the whole conversation. And it's all about identity, like you mentioned. But you mentioned internet. I'm also thinking about this thing because I know what we are discussing has always been very emotional, and it is one of the greatest thief of joy in our society today. I want us to emphasize or stress on the role of social media, because I'm just trying to see that people watch on social media has influenced so many people. Aside this self-identity you have explained well, social media, are people actually posting the right thing? We all know that it's people's highlights. We all know that it is edited. So once people watch this, they compete themselves. They just see their friends are going ahead. What has this whole thing done to us?
You see, social media in itself has brought its own cons and pros. And I'm not discussing social media, so I'm just going to go straight to what we are discussing today, comparison. Nobody will post their pain or post their process.
I wish a lot of people will understand this, Michael. That's very profound.
Nobody will post their bad days. Their worst days.
You will never see
Nobody
that.
will post them. We are a generation of happy pictures but sad hearts. We have happy pictures but we have sad hearts. We have celebrating pictures but broken mindsets. We are a generation that want to portray to everyone that we are doing well whilst we are dying within. This is what comparison is doing. I had to come to a point where I had to stop posting some things about me.
Some things about you?
Yes. Oh, okay. I had to come to a point to stop posting some things about me on social media. Okay. I'm telling you.
Why?
If you cannot go into a place of high class or high quality without taking pictures to prove something on social media, then you are broken. If you cannot go into a space of comfort for you to just take your time, relax, enjoy the breeze, enjoy it.
The keyword is enjoy the place.
Enjoy the space. Enjoy it.
Yes.
But we are in a hurry to take pictures to prove a point. See, I have a friend. I have a friend. He has visited almost 10 countries. And when I show you his social media handle, he doesn't even have a profile picture. I am not joking. He has visited countries. He doesn't even have a profile picture. But the pictures are on his phone. He said, this is for my memories. I keep this for my memories.
This is for my memory identity. Michael, I'm laughing
That is
because I know
identity.
people who can go to, like if in Ghana, I would say East Legon. They travel all the way to take pictures
Just
and
take
come back.
pictures to
You know
put on
why I'm
social
laughing?
media.
Because what you said is very serious. Those are the
Yes.
real people. Look
Yes.
at that.
Yes. I'm telling you, my brother. He's one of the people that started changing my mindset
Okay.
about how social media is taking control of our lives, how social media is controlling how we should portray ourselves. Haven't you seen people give birth just a month and they put the picture of the child on social media? Are you okay?
There was one I saw, the lady was fully pregnant and she was just changing herself. And I'm like, come on, take your time.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Yeah. See, social media in itself is a whole discussion on this. I don't want to even go there because, my brother, if we say we are entering to that discussion, we will not end today. And people will still not listen.
People still not listen because it's
Yes.
actually one of the greatest tools.
I have come to a point. Yes, I have come to a point that I don't care the pictures people post anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care because I've seen people post pictures. I visited them and I've seen them in worse states.
It's true. It's true.
I'm telling
so
you.
Happens. Yeah.
I'm telling you. I don't care.
The real
I
ones
don't care what
even post like you mentioned.
they don't post anymore.
Yeah.
They don't post anymore. I have come to realize that if you want to prove a point, is where you begin to post things on social media. Do you realize that the schools that are not great are the schools that put great in front of their names?
It's true. Oh, I'm sorry. I almost mentioned my school name, but anyway, my school has great.
Don't worry. Don't mention this school. Don't mention this school.
I almost said it's true before I realized that my school has a great in front of it, and we are not going anywhere. That's the truth. We are always not going anywhere, but we still have the great.
Oh my God!
But Michael, it's having so much impact on the minds of people.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you mentioned the real people are not even posting.
The real people,
wow.
those who are making. That is why when someone becomes rich and he begins to post some things on social media, I begin to tell myself, no, there is something behind the posting.
Yeah.
How many times do you see the richest man in Ghana even posting stuff? You know the richest man in Ghana, I think it's either between Transaco or Sam Jonah. How many times do you see them posting? They don't have time for these things.
Even the one in Africa, Dangote, you hardly.
They don't have time for these things.
You hardly.
So if a young man is getting money, so if a young man is getting money and he's posting on social media, it's a school that is not great and he's putting great in front of his name.
Please, if your school is like that, we are sorry.
If people are on social media posting anyhow, that is them being loud in order to cover some things about them.
Wow.
And the things they are covering is the reality of pain they are going through. Yeah. Nobody posts pain. Nobody posts bad days. And that is what comparison is doing to us.
And Michael, as we post a lot, people don't even care. There are people who just watch and they don't even care. I'm just saying this, as you mentioned, there's a story that dropped. I have a friend here in Canada who she's been seeing another close friend with the wife. They are always traveling, like they are always all over the place. And so one time the lady friend always, when she calls me, she's like, I really like these couples. I really like them. They are always all the place. I wish my husband and I will enjoy life. So one day I got closer to them and we're sharing stuff. I was like, you guys are always all over the place and all. You know, the guy, one time, he came a bit closer and he told me that, Emmanuel, my wife, if I leave my wife for a while, she will go through stress. You know, the lady is old and they've not given birth. And there's that kind of trauma. So even the goal of traveling is just to occupy the lady at the least chance they get. And he was telling me that all his money, he's actually spending virtually all his money. He received the paycheck and then he does that. And people are on the other side and they are praising. They are actually using them as a standard and they are comparing them. They wish that their life would be like that. But they're also covering. And I'm just saying it because you use the word covering.
Covering. The day I saw that everyone is going through pain, that day I realized that I don't have anything to prove to anyone.
Okay.
When I realized that everyone is going through one thing or the other, I realized that life is not about pressure. You don't have to beat yourself to death if you're not getting something right. If people really understood this concept or these philosophies that we are getting to understand, I believe suicide will go down.
Yes.
I believe that people begin to see life as a growing process. I believe that people begin to realize that rushing to get money will crush you.
Rushing to get money will crush you. That's a very profound statement.
Yes, I'm telling you, the more money you get, the more it tests your ability to control your appetite. And if you don't grow through the process and you get to that height, it will consume you to die. That is why you have millionaires who die out of drug addiction. You have millionaires who die out of alcoholism. You have millionaires who die out of prostitution. You have people who have so much money that you think that they should have been okay. They are so depressed. There is a process you need to go through. If you don't understand this concept, you begin to compare yourself to people, and you will do everything to get that kind of money. Were we not here when we're hearing stories of friends, their brothers because of money? We're hearing stories of good friends, best of friends, unaliving their own friends because of money. That is the height of comparison. That's the height at which comparison can go. If I have not gotten it, rather, witchcraft is not about flying at night to go and chew whatever. Witchcraft is a personality, and that personality is that personality that do not want to see others supersede you. The moment you see that you have that trait in you, you are possessed. You are possessed. So this is what comparison can do to us. It can bring you to the lowest of life, for you to see everyone as though nobody is supposed to rise in life. It is called the crab mentality. If you put crabs into a bowl, my brother, if one crab gets a way to start climbing up, all the crabs will pull it down. That's what we call the crab. That's what crab mentality. And that is what we have become as Africans. We have become crabs, eating into each other's growth.
And having to realize that, Michael, people are not happy, like typical Africans, even most people, like in general, they are not happy when others are making it, when others are successful, because you use the word, and that is one of the effect of it.
Yes.
People, you will not be happy for people. You will not be happy for your friends, even when they are.
That is, my brother, that is why African businesses even fail. Yes.
Yeah.
Why should African be the one producing cars? We are all here. Nobody. Where did you go and learn that from? So I'll even talk down on the cars you are producing. Didn't we see that happening in our continent?
Yeah, a lot of
people produce cars and we insult them. We give a whole different, instead of looking for ways by which we could have made this better.
Yeah. Yes.
We were rather destroying people's, we're destroying their egos. We're destroying them. This is who we are. And the root of it, I will keep saying, the root of it is what they made us go through in our classrooms. If you are not first, you are a failure. And if you don't pass people, it means that you are not confident of becoming a leader. They can only give the school prefect to someone with straight A's.
Michael, connecting the whole thing to the roots that you said, the root of it is the classroom. I am also thinking about what our parents also do sometimes. You would realize that there are some families, they always like comparing the little ones to their sibling, to their church mate, to their neighbors. And it's not even, sometimes it's not even about position. Just some of the parents want to brag about children. And by so doing, they end up letting them do courses that they are not happy, programs they don't love, jobs they are not happy about it. So they'll be depressed and all. Can we also touch? So if we have emphasized so much on education, which is very important, and I know that we've done a lot in deconstructing that side. What are we saying about parents?
When it comes to parents, that is why when I started talking, I mentioned the culture we have, the culture of we comparing our children to our cousins and all these things. I mentioned all these things there. The idea is this, that we have a culture, and a culture is that when you give birth, you would have to take care of your child to grow. And when he grows, he will also come and take care of you. That is a cyclical culture we have in Africa, which is not bad. At the same time, it releases immense height of pressure. That is why when you look at the culture of other race or other people, they just take care of the child. When the child is done, they're done with the child. They live their lives separately. They are different. In those culture, you realize that the child is able to really, really become successful easily. They become successful early because every money they are having or they are getting, they are using that money to invest in themselves. But our culture demands that we do the opposite, which is a very good thing to do. But I'm trying to bring your mind back to why parents do that, because every parent has in mind that at least one of their child should be an investment returns. Yeah. Every parent.
They want to harvest at the end of the day.
Yes. Every parent must make sure that one of their child is an investment return. So they wouldn't gamble that you said you want to become an entrepreneur. Why should we gamble for that? We have to push you to a path that we know that when you go, you come back and bring money. We are taking care of you. You want to gamble with your life. If you gamble, you are gambling with our lives. So if you say you want to follow your passion, which passion? That after you follow your passion, then if you go and fail, it means that their old age do not get anyone to come and look after them. Return on investment. So basically, that is the root of it. My brother, that is the root. Or when it comes to parents' side, that is the root of it. The fear of losing the child to uncertainty will make them push you to a path. They will compare you to others for you to follow their paths. That is the fear. The fear of losing the child in a space where they are not certain of even who they can become in future. So we are made to go through selected careers, selected growth processes. There are a lot of people who are doctors today who wish they were not doctors.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah. I know a lot of people. There are a lot of people who are in a good career, but they wish they were not there.
Yeah. Their parents want them to have powerful programs, powerful careers.
Yes. And this is the comparison culture.
So how do we break this? In fact, I'm sorry to ask you because I'm getting so much. I'm getting, apart from school, I know one guy that he was not good with maths, but George can draw things, like he has that technical skill. But because he was always last in class, it ended up that he stopped school. He ended up driving taxi and all. We are not saying that driving taxi is bad, but like I feel that the guy could have become someone very powerful. So we've dealt with the school. Parents are also on one side. There's so much pressure. I know families, they don't even talk to each other. It's like they are enemies. So how do we break that?
If you're a youth and you feel like comparison is destroying your life, or the family or society is giving so much pressure that you are not able to navigate your life around, seek help. You have to seek help. Seek help by talking to people who are way, way higher than you. People who are broken out of these kind of cycles. A problem spoken is half solved.
That's
if you are able to speak about it to someone, it is half solved. Simple. If you feel like your life is under pressure because there's so much expectation from different angles and you are not able to grow like you're supposed to grow, seek help.
So Michael, whom should that person run to? Who should that person run to?
They should run to a mentor. That's why I keep saying that you can't live life without a mentor. They should run to a mentor. Find a mentor. Find a mentor. You can't navigate life without a mentor. The reason for mentorship is that they help you jump the processes that they struggle through. So if you don't have a mentor, it means that there are some unnecessary pain, unnecessary processes that you will go through that you could have escaped if you have someone holding your hands. So if you are a young person watching us and you think that your life has come to a halt, or your parents have given you some pressure from school, your life is a mess up. You gave an example of a young guy who was good at drawing and now he's driving. My brother, that is a missing destiny.
Yeah.
That is a missing destiny. So if you are watching us, you feel like you have missed your destiny. You are passionate about something, but then all of a sudden, the appetite for it is dead because of the pressures of life. You need it to be revived again. And if you want it to be revived, go and seek a mentor. Get a mentor to speak to. Yes, get a mentor to speak to. It's very important. If you don't do this, your life will hang and hang and hang. And trust me, there is nothing like a bright day if your life is hanging.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone that is being crushed by comparison, you feel like everyone has left you in life. You feel like everyone is getting jobs and you are still home. You feel like everyone is getting married and you're not getting married. Your life is a process. Maybe you're a mango tree.
Yeah.
Maybe you are a palm tree. Maybe you are a mahogany tree. The other people around you, they may be maize, they may be cassava. That is why they are growing fast, but their growth will be limited sometimes. Yours, when it starts, your root goes deep into the soil. And for years, generations will come and meet the success you left on earth. Legacy is not built in a short time. Legacy is built over years. So if you have people who are making $10,000, whatever they are making today, and they look at they are doing well, focus on your purpose. Forget about position and focus on purpose.
Forget about position.
Yes.
Forget about school position.
I'm telling you, forget about position, forget about status.
Yeah, we wish that when we're growing up, we heard what you are saying. I wish.
My brother,
myself, personally, I wish.
Yes. You must, if you want to succeed, listen, if you want to succeed, you must unlearn the school system of success. And the school system of success is that at every point in time, you are seeking to be the first.
Michael, this is my last question. This is one of the questions that the moment you told me this is what we're going to discuss, I desperately wanted to ask you. I have a friend there. Anytime he's my age mate. Anytime we are graduating in any stage from SHS, university, the question he asks himself, he's always asking himself, am I ahead? He's always asking himself, am I? And I ask myself, are you ahead of what? You are ahead of who? And he's pointing fingers on some of our colleagues. I know that from what you are saying and from what we are discussing, life is actually a personal journey.
Yeah.
I want to ask this question, and if you can really help us within the shortest time, what should be our standard of measure? How do we measure our growth? The growth you are talking about. How do we know that we are doing well? How do we know that we are aligned in this purpose you are talking about? You say we should have purpose, we should focus on. How do we know? Should we compare to our classmates? Should we compare to our neighbors? Should we compare to our wives, our partners?
My brother,
what is?
Let me just answer you. Compare your growth to what you were yesterday.
I like your answer.
Yeah.
That's
the
so
best
powerful.
comparison.
That's so
the best comparison is to compare your growth to what you were yesterday. If you are what you were yesterday, you are growing. If your knowledge today is different from your knowledge yesterday, you are growing. You are getting there.
That's a counter.
If your knowledge today is the same as your knowledge yesterday, you are stuck.
You are stuck.
No matter
so
how
nobody is in your line. It's between you.
It's between you and yourself. So all we are saying is that take your time. Find your purpose. Compare yourself to yourself. Anytime you want to grow, look back in years. Where were you? Where are you? And where can you be? That is how you grow.